just need to fix your camera.
That'd be lovely. This is, come on. I need to put myself in front of the diploma. And the little fuzzy pickle back there is supposed to be have a frame on it, which will change how it's looking.
There we go. Now I got you. Right, so I'm going to have to turn you up because you're too soft.
I'm talking too softly?
Yes. All right. So let's find, we are back to Dungeons and Brothers. We're in the middle of the Death Knight Squire. We've got Grengal, who is a Goliath Shadow Sorcerer, and Hyacinth, who is a Critterfolk Skunk Cleric, both level 2. Hyacinth is a Cleric of Light. If we open up the notes, we will see we fought some spiders last time, and the spiders were pretty tough, but we managed to use our spells and stuff. Here is the map. Shrink this down a little bit. We'll put ourselves on the map so we can see with the line of sight. All right, so last time you were having a little bit of issues with the line of sight. How's it working now?
What?
Do you see the map?
Yes.
And does it, so click on your token, your little dude, and does it light up? Can you see the house and stuff?
Yeah, I see the whole thing. I mean, yeah. It's just...
Perfect. All right, so we're in the woods. Give me just a second here. I'm checking to make sure our sound is right. Perfect. All right, so we're in the woods. Give me just a second here. I'm checking to make sure our sound is right. Perfect. All right, so how do you, so we're in the woods. Give me just a second. How do you say your name again? Our sound is right.
It's Grengil.
All right, so how do you,
Grengil.
just a second. How do you say your name again? Our sound is right.
It's Grengil.
All right, so how do you, all right, so everything is running smoothly, as far as I can tell at least. So, here we go. Oh, we need our storyteller image. Here we go. Shrink it down. All right, so I was the last one to read, so it is your turn to read. Let me share this. Let's see. There you go.
So I'm supposed to read here? All right.
Yes.
All right. Around a corner and see a house on the western side of the path. It appears to be inhabited. Smoke is drifting from the chimney. Who knows what waits in the inside? Kindly old wizard, hermit, or a warlock quietly plotting the domination of the world. Come to think of it, that could even be where the Death Knight is hiding. The cabin doesn't look like much. It could just be a commuter family, and they might have food. Your belly begins to rumble at the thought of a hot meal. The options are to move in stealth, make a stealth check for traps. And
All
then
right,
when
so I'm going to be moving in stealth.
okay, stealth, then. All right, that's something we mark.
All
How'd you
right, so I
say
got
that?
a 14, so I survived. I mean, survived. Not only did I survive, but I succeeded.
Okay.
And are you going in stealth?
Yes.
Okay,
What's the stealth thing about?
so just roll your stealth.
Oh, stealth. Okay.
Yeah, you might have it down in your hotbar. I don't know.
I can't roll anything from my hotbar. I don't know.
Okay.
I brought it down, but it still doesn't just explain what it is.
Oh, so what you need to do is the click. So you brought down the little red square.
No. Yes, I think so.
So you bring down the little box next to it with a little die on it, with a number in it.
Oh,
Drag
okay.
that down, and that will
So,
work.
so initially it's on the front page. It's on the front page, right?
Skills. It's on your skills tab.
Okay. I'm trying to do this. And then it says skill now next to it. That's cool.
So click it and see if it works.
Here we go. Yep. Work.
Golden.
All right.
All right, so we
All right.
both succeeded in our stealth. So it says when you're,
I wrote the stuff already, right?
yes, yep.
Right.
So it says to approach and investigate the house. I say yes. I don't think this is where the Death Knight is, by any means, but I do
Yes, I agree.
I do want to go check out the house. I'm going to turn down the grid though, because wow, it's really bright. There we go. Let's make it green. There we go. Now we have a green grid. Turn down a little bit.
Okay. Oh, those birds are loud, aren't they?
I don't know, are they?
Huh?
All right, so
Hold on a second. Let me okay. I'm listening.
we will move up a little bit.
I have a window on the side there.
Oh, that's why. There we go. And it says to investigate the house, go here. So I'm going to go here. It is my turn again. Close this. Open this. All right. You approach the little hut that sits to the side of the forest path. It is well made, if a little dilapidated, and covered in vines and creepers. And we have a picture that actually fits the scene. Look at that.
Look at that. Well,
And
is it,
there we go. I'm just fixing the picture and stuff. Cautiously, you approach the door and slowly reach for the handle. So, go ahead and have you be the one doing that. Did you want to check for traps
yes.
on the handle door? All right, so roll it to DC 15.
There's a thing in DC 15. In there? Is that 15 there? Is that 15?
No, so click on the skill, and you want the difficulty check. So your target is 15.
What dice am I rolling?
The skill perception.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Look at that. So you are successful. You search all around the door frame and on the ground, but cannot find anything that looks like a trap here. Cautiously, you put your hand on the door and push down. All right, so now we go to this one, and here we go. I'll let you read that one.
He's thrown up again. There it is. All right. As you cautiously edge inside the cabin, looking around, it appears empty, even though the crackling fire burns in the hearth. There's a strange smell in here. Exactly. Why is everything still burning? Suddenly, you feel something press against your skull, as if a giant invisible hand were crushing it. You resist as best you can, but the force is overwhelming. Within moments, you have blacked out. Uh-oh. You wake up at what seems like many hours later in the dark inside. It's dark inside the room, probably nighttime, and the room is empty.
Within the cabin, there is a kind of burnt smell, like smoldering embers. And the room has only the most basic furniture, a table, a couple of chairs, a fireplace. Suddenly, your heart stops. In the darkness, you see a figure standing against one of the walls,
Uh-oh.
completely silent, watching you. It's a tall figure, dressed all in armor. As you watch, this figure begins to glow red in the darkness, and you see that it is in fact a knight. A sinister-looking tower of a knight, holding a huge great sword that shimmers with an unearthly radiance. The
Oh,
Death Knight? Feeling
ouch.
a cold sweat break out on your brow, you feel for your weapon. Nope, that's gone, as are all your supplies.
That's not good.
Do not bother searching for your equipment, mortal. The voice booms out and seems to come from all around you rather than from his direction. Listen, mortal, and listen carefully. I have a task for you. There is a knight who claims ownership over this forest, a warrior who, like myself, is not of this realm. A chill travels up your spine. The voice is deep, booming, but hollow and devoid of life. At least now you know you're not speaking to the Death Knight. So who could this be then? Alright, so I will let you pick up from here.
So the pages you're setting up, they're separate pages. Is that correct?
Yes, and you can close them out as soon as you're done reading them. Unless you get a tile page, then you want to keep that one. But any other page, you can just close out once you've read it.
It's a tile page.
It'll say tile page, and I'll tell you. So
Okay.
if you scroll down about a quarter, maybe half the way, you'll see where it says, who could this be then? Starts off with a chill travels up your spine, and who could this be then?
Yeah.
So we'll start from there. My followers.
Okay, so I'm starting with my followers. Okay.
Mhm.
Here we go. My followers call me the Blood Knight of Hiranseli. I'm a loyal follower of, how do you spell that? How pronounce that? Is it Hiranseli, right?
Yep, sounds good.
Hiranseli, the dark goddess, enemy of wealth, and Orcus, the vengeful banshee. These names make our blood run cold. We thought that the cult of Hiransili, whatever the hell it is, was long dead. Their deeds are detailed in the ancient histories, and they are responsible for numerous atrocities throughout the ages. My followers and I will see the mother return to her former power. We have chosen this wood of Weathercote, as the point of her arrival. It is aligned with the unseen stars and the nodes of power that exist in this land. It is small but a potent place. This one who they call the Death Knight, he must die, mortal. And you have been chosen by the goddess as the bringer of his demise. Your spirit lifts a little. Isn't this your quest anyway? Are you about to voice agreement when the Blood Knight added, and that as reward you will become my most exalted follower, my general, who shall stand beside me in glory as we return the goddess Karen Sally to her rightful place as the ruler of this land. That right?
Okay. This part you are not so much in agreement with. You are stunned into silence, but the Blood Knight continues. You must leave this place now. He walks forward, taking a couple of massive steps towards you. Red sparks skitter out from his feet as he walks. Do not be afraid, mortal. I am Mirk Brood, made from the embers of the cremated dead, and this weapon is of the Mirk as well. From some unseen place, the Blood Knight produces a long sword glowing with a red light, as if embers burn inside it. This is known as a Sword of the Goddess Wrath. Sword of the Goddess's Wrath. You will use it to slay the one known as the Death Knight, and then return it to me before the dawn. If you refuse any part of this task, my followers will pursue you to the ends of the world, and you shall live a cursed life, always looking over your shoulder. Are we in agreement, mortal? You take the sword in your hand. It pulsates with a volatile potency and almost hurts to hold. The dark energy runs up your arm, and you feel a little of it creep into your very soul. So, what is your response to the knight? Your choices are, hell yeah, sign me up. Or, yeah, the first part of what you say, I can do that. But the whole becoming a general thing, not so sure. Well, the last one is, you know what, Blood Knight? Take your sword of whatever and stick it where the sun don't shine. So where would you like to go?
I think the middle one. Yeah, the first part of what you say, I can do that. But the whole becoming a general thing, I'm not so sure.
All right, so it is your read. Here you go. Boom.
The Blood Knight's roar fills the room. You will accept this quest, or you will die as immortal flesh dies. On the end of my sword. He brings his giant sword underneath his chin. You try to move. You are frozen on the spot as if by magic. You don't doubt his words. You are unarmed. It seems you have little choice. So, do we approve? Do we still voice our disapproval, or do we bow in this intimidating warrior and accept his quest? I
Well,
don't
I
think we
don't
need
see that we have a whole lot of choice, so I will bow to the intimidating warrior.
Well, he might have spells though. If you want to fight. All right, I will do that as well.
Okay, at these words, you hear a crackling like logs moving in a fire, and through the Blood Knight's visor you see the twisted shape of a hideous smile made out in embers. Like a thin line of fire, you stare in horror. Excellent, mortal! You have pleased me. I would complete this task myself, but until the goddess arrives, I cannot risk standing in the sunlight. As soon as Kiaransli comes, she will grant me physical form. Then, for a time, I may roam free. Now go, fulfill your destiny. If you were frozen by a spell, you are now released from this. You stand and, as if in a trance, walk from the cabin. There, in a small pile outside the door, are your belongings. You quickly check them, and yes, everything is there, including your provisions. So you shoulder your backpack, regaining some small measure of comfort, and look around, getting your bearings. You wonder for a second if this was all a dream, but then you feel for your newly acquired sword, and yes, it is still there. Quickly you turn, open the door, and peer inside again. But the hut is now empty. The Blood Knight is gone, and the table and chairs are overturned and covered in cobwebs and dust. What? What just happened? So we get to add the Sword of Goddess's Wrath to your inventory. And the way it works is against normal creatures, this functions as a long sword with an extra 1d4 damage that does fire.
Okay.
But against undead creatures, it gives you a +2 on all your attack rolls and a bonus of 1d8 slashing and 1d4 fire.
For critical or for every time?
Every time, if it's undead. Here's this. I'll share that with you. So,
So I save this thing too.
do you want to take it, or do you want me to take it? I don't care either way.
I am. Well, I'm the bigger one, but you're the warrior one, so it's kind of a toss-up. But I'm thinking if you're pretty short, I'm bigger. I can at least, as a sheath, put it over my back, whatever. Is it? Are we likely to be able to use it like a regular sword if you wanted to get rid of fight, or is it?
Right.
You think something?
You use it as a. So you, I don't think, are proficient in martial weapons, so you would not get the plus your proficiency bonus. So the +2. Let me look. Daggers, darts, slings, quarterstaff, light crossbows. Yeah, so you would
Where did you find that?
on your abilities page,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
and
Okay. Well,
so I would have a better chance to hit with it because I
all
can
right.
use martial weapons.
Right. Okay, that sounds good.
But if I die, feel free to grab it and take it.
Use it at a disadvantage, but do
No,
something
you don't get a
deadly with it.
disadvantage. It's just at minus. You don't add your proficiency bonus to the +2.
Yeah.
So it's basically like you would have a -2 right now. So you would add your strength to it, so it's +1. So you would have a +1 to hit with it, and then you would do 1 damage. So anyway, I have a +3 to hit with it. So that's the only difference. All right, so let me go ahead and throw this into my stuff. Give me just a second. All right, so it says you are standing on a pathway through the Weathercoat Wood. Go to tile page 6 and continue from the last direction you read, or start from the first entry if this is your first time on this tile page. So, this is what I was talking about with the tile page. So that's why I kept it open.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything
so now, do you still have the map?
of the house. Yeah.
Okay. So we're done with the house. So now we're going to move up, and we stop when you reach a tile next to the green dot.
Hold on.
And I'm going to move up to here because I presume you're going to keep going next to me while I throw this in my stuff.
So each green thing is like right. That's right there, or right there. The white
Okay.
ones are 10 by 10, and the smaller ones are 5 by 5.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So let me go open up the. I'm almost done grabbing my sword. Bloop. Okay. It is equipped. Let me check it out and see how it looks. Sword of the Goddess's Wrath. 1d8 slashing magic. Okay, so I need to add. It says this functions longsword and extra 1d4 fire damage. So let me add that. I'm not sure why they didn't add it.
Well, maybe they're thinking that you have a choice that way more so than leaving it on there or something.
1d4 fire. Okay. And then if I attack an undead, it gives me a +2 to attack and an extra damage of 1d8. So we'll worry about that when the time comes.
I'm assuming that we're going to be getting some undead.
Well, the Death Knight is at least undead, if nothing else.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, so we still got the cabin up. Still got the cover up, showing some pictures and stuff. Alright, so here we go. It is back to your turn to read.
Not next to me.
Alright, so it says, did you make an earlier successful check for traps? No, we did not. So here we go.
We were successful, weren't we? With
No, we did stealth instead of checking for traps.
oh, okay. You take several steps up the path. And all of a sudden, something bizarre happens. You're frozen mid-step. Not frozen with cold, but paralyzed from head to toe. One foot hovers in the air as if you've been stopped in time. So you're supposed to roll wisdom.
So on your main page, you'll see on the right side it says saving throw.
Saves, yeah. I'll press wisdom.
Oof, I failed badly. And so did you.
Okay.
I rolled a 1 and got a 7, and you rolled a 5 and got a 6. And it's so we did not succeed, so we failed. And we go here, click. As you were standing there, frozen in motion, the door to the little hut swings open, and out walks 3 robed figures. You groan internally. What in the name of the gods have you gotten yourself into here? Some sort of magical effect has trapped you, and now these road fanatics, acolytes, cultists, whatever they are walking toward you with big smiles on their faces. They pick you up, and one at your feet, one at your head, and one in your middle, they cart you into the hut like a bundle of sticks and drop you on the floor. Then, unable to struggle, you watch as one of them produces a jar full of some kind of ointment. You growl loudly, trying your best to voice your objection, but before you know it, a tiny amount is smeared on your arm, and within seconds, you are unconscious.
I'm using the same map. We're back in the same hut thing. Cabin. Correct.
Yes, we're still using the same one.
Okay.
Alright, so your turn to read.
Okay. Wake up in the cabin and find that you're once more able to move. Totally dark inside the cabin. Probably nighttime. You look around, but the cultists are gone.
Okay, this is actually the same story as before, so we'll skip all that. We are now. So the cultists didn't. So if you ignore the cabin and go up to the green
Okay.
dot, then the cultists come out and take you, and then the Dark Knight appears and talks to you and makes you do your stuff.
Right.
So we already did that one. I've never seen that before. It's interesting. I must have passed when it happened before. Anyway, so when you have finished exploring this tile page, you may move to the edge of the map and go to number 9. Alright, so this one, when you're done reading, right click on it,
Okay.
and then you'll see at like 2 o'clock, it says minimize. And
Yep.
that'll make a little bubble, which you can move anywhere you want to on the screen.
Right.
And then when you're ready to open it again, click the little bubble and it'll open it again. But let
Right.
me get the map going here. Boom.
That was what I was asking about before. If I did the bubble, that what would it come up with the new one you said that it did not do that. So
I'm
it's fine.
sorry. If you do the bubble and what happens?
I did the bubble on one of the pages and put it down, and then when it was my turn, I clicked it, and it was the same page as before, and put up a new one. So that's why I asked you once it closed it. Once it closed it, you said yeah. So it did, this one is a particular page that we're supposed to be doing
Right.
like
So
that.
see on the very top, it says 500.90 tile page.
Yeah.
So when it says tile page, yes, you want to save those until we leave that map.
Okay. Got it.
So I'm just throwing us on the new map. And now I'm going to share it. There you go. So go ahead and click your token, and it'll then be able to see.
Yep. So this is going to go.
All right. So we see a log and some water. Water. Okay. So go ahead and read it for us. Facts. I'm going to throw some water on here.
You approach a bend in the path and can hear the gurgle of a stream. The stream appears to be moving quite slowly, at least in this part of the wood. On the other side of the river, you see a strange-looking character, a human, reclining back on some moss and seemingly talking to himself. Is he mad? From what you've experienced of Weathercote Wood so far, you wouldn't be surprised. And then he sees you and calls out, "It's fine, friend. Nothing will harm you here. Come, talk to me. It's rare that I have company." Do I keep reading?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So our options are to move with stealth.
Well, he's already seen us and talked to us, so that's pointless.
Right.
Go ahead.
So your instincts tell you it's unlikely there are traps here. Obviously, so far all traps in the wood have been in lonely stretches. And then we should move our tokens towards the map where we want to go. We talk
All
to the
right.
stranger, we ignore him and continue on. Those are our choices.
I know it's normally it would be my choice. So yeah, I'll say why not? We can at least talk to him. I mean, it doesn't seem to be that dangerous, at least.
Yep.
At least I'll come up a little bit. We're not sure. You said he is where? Did we say where he was? On the other side of the river.
Across the bank.
All right, so I'm just going to move up a little bit to there.
Right.
I'll open this up. Ooh, we have art.
Cool.
And that's one thing, you have with this.
A lizard there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it just amazes me. You have stuff like this, and then you have stuff like that. So anyway, so there's our dude. I'm gonna shrink this.
There's a lot of little details in that.
Yeah, a little dragonfly carrying something, and a little dude sitting on a dragonfly. It's pretty cool.
There's a lizard down on the guy's head on the
Yep,
bottom.
on the crown. Yep. Anyway, so he says,
He's smoking a pipe.
"The stranger seems friendly enough," and you respond, "You seem very relaxed. Do you live here in the Weathercote Wood?" "I do," he says, a mysterious twinkle in his eye. "For some years now. I talk to the trees, the birds, the woodland spirits. They're all my friends. As you near the enigmatic fellow, you notice several strange things about him. For one, his voice doesn't seem to match his frame. His voice is deep, commanding, and he appears quite a slight man, short enough to pass for a halfling even, if a slightly taller one. There is a small winged creature who has alighted nearby, and strangely, the stranger has his feet rested on the head of what looks like a fallen stone statue. This strikes you as strange, a statue all the way out here? Who is this mysterious character? What is his story? You consider your next words. So your choices are, what is the statue that you rest your feet on, friend? Do you know anything of the Death Knight? Who is your little winged friend? So those are your three choices.
I'm going to say, who's your little winged friend? I think if you're in a company of somebody and then somebody else is there, you know, it's proper to talk. This is my little friend, Plumeria. Wow. She grants blessings. Would you like one? And either answer with, I would, or no thanks. That's all right.
So I'm going to choose yes.
Yes.
The little fairy flutters towards you and across the stream lands on your shoulder. What blessing would you like me to bestow? Expertise or endurance?
Endurance. Endurance. I'm saying that because we need to be able to survive. Stop. Even if we're dumb, we got to be able to survive. Right?
All right, go ahead.
All right. Okay. Liberia flitters in close. If you are deafened, if you're defeated by the Dark Knight, she says quietly, out of earshot of the stranger on the other side of the brook, for I know that is who you seek. Out of the word Pepperwood, you will be rescued from that fate, worse than death itself. And now she flares right up to your ear and whispers, Run. He is insane. Get away from here. Wasting no time, kick out your heels and break into a sprint.
Interesting. Give me just a second. I'm making a note here about Pepperwood.
Yes. Good idea.
We won't need to worry about it. We're not going to be defeated by the Death Knight.
That's right.
Alright, so we take off. You don't know why, but you have a strong instinct to get out of there quickly. Without any sort of warning, you break into a sudden run, putting as much distance between yourself and this strange man as possible. Where are you going? The man calls after you in a strangely hurt tone. I'm not that repellent, am I? Oh well, you're lost, friend. He's out of his mind, Plumeria. Something tells you you may have just escaped a very dangerous encounter. Move to the edge of the map of the tile page and onto a connecting map immediately.
All right. Maybe it was a troll from the river. Are we passing over the river or not?
No, we don't have to. We can just sort of run through the little bushes here and go over to 8. So if you open up the tile page, you should see. Okay, yeah, so that's it. So we're done. I'll just go to page 8. And so it is your turn. So go ahead. Now you can close page the map and the page.
Okay, so
Here
the
is
map,
8.
the map that you're on, okay, and that gets on, and the page is the top page now, map 4, top page 6. What was that?
Yeah,
Okay.
we just came from 9.
So now we have no more
So I just
map
gave you
down here.
tile page 8. So keep that one
Yep.
open for now.
Yep.
And that's where we are. And I'm going to come on, hold on. All right, so throwing this on the map. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze. But that's where we just came from. So go ahead and read your stuff.
Okay. Square, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Feels as if you have been in this wood for an age. Now the dim light of evening has fallen and darkness creeps back under the boughs of Withercote wood. You have reached a four-way junction, scout around, and just off the path find several places that would be suitable for making camp. Your bones ache after a long day and your stomach rumbles. We move on, or are we checking for traps?
All right, I'm sorry. So what's our first choice?
Okay, well, we have to choosing whether we move with stealth or not, and whether we're checking for traps.
So this time I think I'm going to check for traps. I just have a feeling.
You have the, so we both roll for that.
Are you going to stealth or move
Yeah,
check for traps?
check for traps. And that thieves' tools.
It's perception.
All right.
All right, so nice. We both rolled 18, so we're at 21 and 22. All right, so we have check for traps. Go to junction traps. Says perception DC of 9. So we had to get higher than a 9. So we both did easily. It says you do a thorough visual search of the area but find no traps. Okay. So what's next?
We're gonna. It says
Maybe
when you're
token it
ready,
in
you
the
move
map
through
you
the map in the
desire.
direction you desire. As long as it's the map, I'm sure. So the okay, so the green things are supposed to be the whole thing, right?
No, that's where we stop.
Okay.
So it says when you reach a tile, you can see 2 potential camp areas just off the track. One on the northwest corner of the junction and one in the northeast corner of the junction. You feel absolutely dog-tired in your bones and know that if you don't rest now, the rest of your mission could become increasingly difficult. You need to make camp and try to get some rest. So your options are: do you make camp in the northeast corner? Do you make camp in the northwest? Or do you continue on despite your fatigue?
I say let's roll and count for camp. All right. Say even is north and odd is south.
So we have
And roll.
east and west, northeast and northwest. So even is northeast. All right, so we're going to go over here.
Okay.
And it says click. Here you go. It's your turn to read.
Right. To the northeast is a large hollow tree trunk. You unfurl your big roll inside the tree. Take this opportunity to eat provisions. Without says if you cannot, you should be able to last another day without feeling the effects of exhaustion. Lie down and quickly fall asleep to gentle sound of wind whispering through the canopy.
All right, so go to your inventory.
Yep.
And I have 2 days of rations, so I now have 1. Do you have any rations anywhere?
Yes, I have 10.
Nice. All right, so go ahead and make it 9.
I'm a big guy, you know. What can I say? All right. It's done.
Okay, and then it says you lie down, quickly fall asleep. The gentle sound go to night. Entry is night night. Funny. You awake in the early hours of the morning, feeling very refreshed.
So when we sleep, do we get back our spell slot? Is that correct?
So I'm going to push you a long rest. So the answer to your question is yes. You get spell slots back, and you get all your hit points back as well.
Okay, good.
And you get a hit die back. All right. You make your way back out to the pathway and consider which path to take. Return to tile page 8 and continue from the last direction you read.
It's from the northeast. So we're heading northeast.
Why is this map so dark? It's weird. There we go. I made it a little brighter so we could see it a little bit better. Oh, that's because I don't have line of sight on. That's why. What the hell's happening?
Yeah, turn it back. Turn it in between the brightness.
So it's weird because on my player map it's really bright. On my DM map it's very, very dark. I don't understand. Anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and
Is it just a map, or is it?
there you go.
Is
It's just this one map. I just wanted you to be able to. So if you move your dude over a little bit, do you see the hole to the southeast?
no, not yet. My map is very small. A hole to the southeast. No, all I can see is that one rectangle you gave us. That's all I can see. I don't see down the paths, any of the paths or anything. I mean, change my mind. It's showing me the lines of vision. It's not showing me anything past what the map is. So that
Right.
there.
When I'm pointing to the big arrow, do you see that's a hole?
Yeah. Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Okay, so if you can't see it, then I'll just turn it off. So there you go.
I forgot
Wow.
about it. So now it's just warm instead of blazing hot.
Okay, thank you.
I can see a hole. I didn't realize that that was what it was. It looks like a tree trunk or a root in the dark. A root.
All right, so go back to the tile page 8. Do you still have that?
Not what I'm on. I'm about the map, right?
No, I'm talking about where you were supposed to read.
Nope. This says tile page 8, so that's why I'm confused. Okay, so I'm continuing on. I felt all that. All right. Maps. Well, we've taken the direction.
So we've camped. So do we have another choice?
Like we have get ready to move your tokens through the map in the direction you desire. If you want to investigate a hole in the south where I was standing a moment ago, or you can go to one of the green dots. Yes, those are your to exploring choices.
So I don't think the Death Knight is going to be in a hole, but it's a hole, and I'm
It's
a
probably good.
and I'm a skunk, so I don't mind holes in the ground.
Okay,
I can actually make holes in the ground because I have
that's right.
burrow speed. So I say, why not? Let's
Right.
go for it.
Okay. So
Tucked back into the trees, you see a large, elongated hole in the ground, like like a gash, as if some huge beast has literally ripped the earth asunder. You edge forward and peer down. Who knows what lurks down there? A part of you is screaming to
how
back
about
away, but your adventuring self wants to know what's around the next corner. Holes in the ground are your stock in trade. So your choice is you can lower yourself down into this black chasm, or you can ignore it and continue on.
well, we're gonna go down. But you start and then tell me what's going on. All right. You carefully climb down. There is a drop about 15 feet or so, but you use several rocky crags to make the descent a little easier. Reaching the bottom, you see a passage of sorts, more of a kind of winding burrow, extending ahead. You begin to make your way slowly down. Outside it was outside it was nearing evening, and thus inside it grows dark. And ahead you see a source of light. So we can head towards a source of light, or we can leave and climb back up. I say
Well, we've
let's
come
check it
this
out.
far. May as well
Yep.
keep going.
So Grengill will follow you down into the hole. Are you seeing any? Were you seeing any map south of where you were standing before by the hole?
No.
Okay. All right. So now we minimize this one, right? This is the one we keep.
Top page 8, yeah. You can minimize it for now. Slowly and deliberately, you edge forward, rounding a corner. It appears you are in. There we go. It appears you are in an old mine of some sort. There's mining equipment here and there, but it's worn, rusted, obviously unused for a long time. However, ahead, fire burns in a brazier, suggesting this place has been recently inhabited. The brazier throws warmth and light throughout this small cavern. You search further around the walls and find a small recess which contains a number of interesting items. Very interesting items. There is a chest, securely locked, a small stack of scrolls and books, and a
Oh,
nondescript pile of all sorts of items: silver goblets, scattered semi valuable jewelry, paintings leaning against the wall. A quick leaf through the scrolls searching for more information reveals maps of the area, scrawled over with all sorts of markings, many of which you don't understand. Then it all clicks into place. You've stumbled on a thieves' den. You
that's a fun
feel a
one.
sudden mix of elation at finding all this loot and apprehension at being caught. So, there's a question: are you a rogue? We're not. So, our choices are you could try opening the chest, you could continue going through the books and scrolls, seeing if you can find anything useful related to your quest, or you could quickly leave and return to the service.
I'm looking for staying. And we should be more cautious in terms of being ready for somebody to come in or some come down behind us or whatever. And I guess let's go through the books. The chest is going to have some interesting things in it. If it has any sort of jewels or spell-like things, that would be interesting. So maybe we should check the thing first and then look through the books. What do you think of that?
Too late. You already said you were searching the books, so I sent it to you.
Flick through the pages of the book, scattered there, and in one book you find a very pleasant surprise. The inside has been hollowed out. The inside is a small
Oh.
pouch. You open it, and it contains gems.
Ooh.
You are no jeweler, but you recognize 3 pieces of jade, 2 large pearls, and 1 transparent blue gem, deep blue gem. A blue spinel. A blue, it's called a spinel. You know this is worth quite a lot. Quickly you pocket the gems, glancing around nervously. The jade pearls are worth about 100 gold pieces each, and the blue spinel is worth 500 gold pieces. Woo-hoo. This will come in handy if we ever get out of this godforsaken wood. So you pocket them quickly, your mind racing, as if all of these things you could buy with the money from the gems. So are we going to leave and head back, or are we going to attempt to open the chest?
All right, hold on a second. I'm adding this stuff to the party sheet.
Okay.
Pouch. Jade is 3. 1 blue spinel, a pouch. Okay. All right, so I thought I already added this to my inventory. I did, so this should be gone. All right, so if you want to open up your inventory, drag a pearl into your inventory from the party sheet.
I'm dragging the number or the red thing.
The red thing.
Yep. I did that. 1 pearl, right?
And then grab. So the blue spinel is worth 500. The jades are worth 100. So I'll take the jade and you take the spinel.
Okay.
All right. So what was our choices again now?
The choices are to go ahead and attempt to open the chest, or to leave and head back out.
Do you have any kind of thief tools? I don't have anything that could open a chest except for my brute strength, and I'm not there.
I do. Actually, I'm trained in it.
Well, then I say let's quickly open the chest and try to get out.
All right.
All right, so are you checking for traps?
Yes.
All right, so I will help you. So you will have advantage. Go ahead and click advantage and then roll your perception.
Advantage is okay.
To DC 17.
Perception. I pressed it once.
Woohoo, you got it by 1. If you are successful, go here. Cleverly concealed within the lock mechanism, you see a trigger switch that could be connected to a poison dart or something like that. The mechanism is extremely fine and will be hard to disarm. Still, no guts, no glory, right? Do you want to disarm it? You will need thieves' tools, which you have. If you do, make a thieves' tools check, DC 17. This is a DC check. This is a dex check with your proficiency bonus. Okay, never mind. So it's a thieves' tools check, DC 17, and again, I can help you with that, so it's at
Well,
advantage.
before we do that, I have these thieves tools. It's one of my dexterity things I'm good at, but I don't see the tools in the inventory. Does that matter?
No, because you already had it. Let me see if I have guidance. I do. Hold on. So I'm going to cast guidance on you first.
Right.
So on the bottom, click advantage, guidance, self, guidance. Okay.
I think I just
Boom. There we go. Okay, so you have guidance now. So
click the advanced.
and then click the Thieves Tools on your skills page. And you get a little boost. 25. So you are successful.
Nice.
Here you go. It's your turn to read.
Okay, you pry the lid off of the chest. Pry the lid of the chest open finally, and look expectantly within. There's a large amount of semi-precious jewelry and some small art pieces, all of which looks to be worth just under 200 gold pieces. There's also a large pouch containing what appears to be about 350 gold pieces. Then your eyes fall on it. A purplish bottle, very ornate, with a stopper in the shape of a dragon's head. You lift the lid off, and give it a quick sniff, instantly recognizing it as a healing potion, a very potent one at that. This is the potion of greater healing. There you go. You also find a strange set of goggles, which you immediately put on. These are goggles of night. If you have dark vision, you suddenly notice that you can see an extra long distance, 60 extra feet. I have that, I believe, right? Bringill had it. Where do I find it again? Dark vision. I had dark vision of 120 feet, so I now can see past that.
So I do not. So
I do.
I will take those goggles so I can see at night. I mean, in the dark, since you
No,
already
but
see it.
I can see 180 feet. Without him, I can only see 120. What is wrong with you, man? Alrighty, here we go. So you're doing it. Great. All is told. All is told. You quickly transfer the treasure into your pack, chuckling to yourself at the carelessness of these foolish thieves. You got pouch and jewelry, arts, portion of creative healing, goggles of night. To search the pile of books and scroll clues. We already did that. Okay, we're done with that one, right?
All right, so what are our choices?
Choices are to search for clues, search the pile of books, and search for scrolls for clues. Did we do that or didn't do that?
We already did that. That's where we
Okay.
found that. Remember, we opened up the book.
Right. Then we just leave the thieves there.
Okay, so go ahead and take the pouch and the potion of greater healing out of the party sheet. You can have both of those. And we're leaving the thieves tool. Dun, dun, dun. Mindful of the time, you leave the little alcove moving quickly and make to leave the abandoned mine. Status check. How many things did you do while in the alcove? So the question is, did you do any 2 things from the following list? Check the scrolls, try to open a chest, read the strange markings. If you did 2 from this list, go to Dilly Dally. If you only did 1 thing, or none, then go back to the surface. Alright, so we did 2 things. I don't remember seeing strange markings.
So it was ruined on the side, I thought.
Okay. Anyway, here we go. It's your turn.
Okay. As you are moving back towards the entrance that leads back to the surface, you hear voices. Voices speaking common, laughing and conversing loudly. They're getting closer. There's a largest pile of boulders nearby. You'll hide behind these. Hide behind these, or stand in the open and face whoever approaches. If they come down the hole, that is.
I'm a skunk, so I say we hide.
Yes, hide. Definitely.
You duck behind the boulder pile as fast as you can, just in time to see legs appearing through the hole. Make a stealth check, DC 14. Alright, so I'm going to cast guidance real quick because I'm a noisy person.
You know what's noisy? I'll tell you that. Possum, man. The opossum is like a catastrophe. You walk across a sheet of glass and it sounds like they're going through the jungle. I swear to God. It is the most amazing thing.
Alright, go ahead and roll your stealth.
And they still
Oof,
do that.
you failed. Okay.
Means they're going to hear us, right?
27 divided by 2 is still 13, so it's still a fail. Alright, so you stay hidden, but hear nothing. Then you feel something. A blade on the back of your neck. Like what we found here, friends. Stand. You stand and see before you a female and a young teenage boy. They wear dark hooded cloaks. You can't see whoever is holding the blade to your neck. They are behind you. It doesn't take much to work out that you are hopelessly outnumbered. Trying to fight your way out of this would be futile. Here you go. Your turn.
You're ushered at blade point back into the abandoned mine, then kicked in the back of the legs, forced to the ground. This is when you get your first good look at the blade welder. An older man, who appears to be the leader, carries a needle-thin rapier in one hand and a dagger backhanded in the other. You know this fighting style. These are rogues, thieves, and obviously the residents of this den. The woman stands behind you with weapon drawn, sighing resignedly. As if this thing happens often, the older man finds a chair and plunks down in it. Suddenly the boy reappears and informs the leader of what you have been up to in their treasure room. You are certain any items that you took are retrieved. Then you are bound hand and foot and given a boot in the stomach for good measure. So the man finally says, "Give me a good reason why we shouldn't kill you, intruders. What's your story? What are you doing in Weathercoat Woods? More specifically, what are you doing in our lair? Who are you?" he demands. So do we tell the thief our quest, or do we make up something?
Well, I don't see any reason why we would need to lie. So I would tell him the quest. I mean, might make fun of us or something, but I don't know. So we will tell him our quest.
Which is to go and kill the
Fine.
Dark Knight.
Yeah, rescue the boy. Boy. Alright, hold on a second, just looking for one other thing.
Well, if you tell them the whole story, they might even give us our stuff back. So if you guys are going to die, might as well go out in a blade of glory, you know.
You begin telling your story. The quest you are on for the Brumonts, looking for their grandson, how you came to be here in Weathercoat Wood, and everything that has happened so far. As you talk, you notice the three thieves, the older man, the young boy, and the woman, exchange looks. The more you talk, the less they interrupt and simply listen to your story. When you finally finish, there is a long silence. The older man, the one who seems like the leader of this little band of thieves, speaks. My friend, we had no idea. We blundered into the dark Death Knight's lair once before, seeking treasure. We had no idea what the place really was. We escaped there with our lives. Barely. Then untie me, he demanded, and let me continue on my quest. The leader directs the boy to untie you, and he quickly does so. The leader motions the female thief to him and whispers something in her ear, and she moves away. As you massage your wrists and ankles, you are brought water and some bread. The leader crouches by your side and produces a map. You bite into the bread, surprised at how hungry you are. Here, he says, pointing to a small piece of the parchment. The lair of the one you seek. Talks about the map. Give me just a second. Here it is. Boink. 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 Boink.
This is how the digestion system works. Down into the stomach, and then into the second stomach. That's very funny. The rogue's map.
Go to the, says, we went in there not long after we first arrived in Weathercote. We thought the place abandoned, but no, this Death Knight you seek, he's in there. And probably keeping this boy Derek captive there too. As you can see, the map is incomplete. We were chased out of there before we could progress any further. But I'm sure that his lair is just a little further on. I don't think the crypt went that far back. You pore over the map. And how do I get here, you ask, tapping the page. To that crypt. Where's the entrance? The man exchanges looks with the other two, then turns back to you. Well, if you're still set on going there, I'll give you the directions. It's north from here. You go past the junction, and it's the first left. The crypt is on the far side of the cemetery. But beware, I have a feeling the Death Knight has become even more powerful since we last visited him. Go cautiously, try to be unnoticed like a shadow. You eat a little more, and then thank the band of thieves. Are either of us hurt? No, okay. We would recover 2 hit points if we were down.
Okay.
They do not let you take any gold, but they do gift you with 1 healing potion, which is a blue-colored tincture in an ornate bottle, which you accept gratefully, and the map, which they also let you keep. Alright, so I'll give you, I'm just going to drop it into your inventory since I've got it right here, the potion of healing. So you now have 2 potions of healing, and I'll give you the rogue's map as well, since you're there.
Okay.
And then we turn to tile page 8.
Just the greater potions of healing, or just a potion of healing?
It's just a regular potion of healing. Alright, so let me go into my inventory and get rid of the stuff I picked up. So go ahead and go back. Do you still have the reading from tile page 8?
I have tile page 8. That's what you're asking.
Alright, and so what does it say on the bottom?
It says when you finish exploring, move the edge of the map and go into the adjoining page, either 11, 9, 7, or 5.
Alright, so does your go? Where do you want to head, Pearl? Oh, I don't think I took away the pearl. I think you've still got a pearl in there. And the stupid goggles of night. Now I can't see again. Thanks a lot.
Let's see. I had those. Fractions.
Pearl, there it is. Okay. All right. So, where did you want to go? We came from 9.
I don't have the map. Do we want to check out the green dots?
We already
So
did.
that was-
We already did. It was the resting place.
Oh, okay. I'm not understanding what the green dots do. All right, so let's head. Let's head towards 11. 5. What do you think? You said to go which way is it to the thing to the thing in the south? Crypt.
He said to go north and look for go past the cemetery.
Okay, so that's what I thought. All right, gonna go north. Number 11. So do I need top page 9 still?
So no, you can close 8 and close the map.
Okay, close it. All right. Okay.
All right, so
Right, that's where we are here. Okay. Something.
give me just a moment. All right, so we have a little river. And we have some sort of sign. Anyway, so it says, you move north from the junction and reach a shallow stream which you easily cross. On the other side of the stream, you see a left branching path. On the corner of this path is a sign, the words worn away by the weather. It reads, Cemetery, and an arrow points down the left path. Ahead, you see that the woods opens out and a field is beyond. Your heart lifts a little, but then you remember poor Derek Brumont. So, are we moving with stealth?
Yes. I'm trying to sneak into a crypt, so I'd say yes.
Alright, so your adventuring experience tells you it is unlikely there are traps here. So, since there aren't going to be any traps, I will go ahead and move with stealth. I agree. Blink.
What did I get? What did I get to?
DC, make a stealth check. DC 10. Take note of success or failure. So we got 19 divided by 2, so that's 9, so we failed. There are no entries associated with this tile page, so to go west, or we can go north. Which way would you like to go?
I say. The dude said to go north, so maybe we should just continue north.
No, he said it was past the cemetery, which is to the left. To the north is the
Okay, so yeah, then we'll go to left.
field, the open field. The wood dies, and there's a field beyond.
You know that because. Continue that. Yep, we're heading down to the left. Map number 10. We always just move to the edge of the thing when we're doing this.
Yep.
So,
So it's your turn to read. Go ahead and read page 10. You can close out the other one.
yes. Okay. Slowly and with weapons at the ready, make your way into the slightly disheveled looking cemetery. Gravestones are crooked in places, but here and there are fresh flowers. But here and there are freshly placed flowers. At the far end of the cemetery, you see a large crypt, like a dome that has been cut in half. Ornate metal gates stand before a stone door. There is a plaque on the outside, but it's too far away to read. With foreboding in the pit of your stomach, you edge forward into this haven of perished souls. We're moving stealth anyway, right? Or we check. Our questions are moving with traps and checking myself.
So yes, we have to roll again. So I am going to check for traps. Did you want to move with stealth, or did you want to check for traps?
We both check for traps and help each other? Or not?
Yes, we can both check for traps if you want.
Let's both check for traps then.
Okay, so we're rolling with perception, DC 15. All right, so it says successful, go here. As you peer into the graveyard, trying to make a visual inspection, you notice the ground on one of the graves seems suspiciously fresh, as if recently disturbed. You make a note to avoid that area. So I don't see this. Do you say anything?
No. So, am I saying something?
Yeah, do you say anything to me as I start to walk toward that spot?
I don't think so. I don't see any reason why I would.
Okay.
I'm assuming my perception check was 17, so does that pass?
Right, and that's why you see this part of the ground that is very fresh.
Right.
And so, as if it's been recently disturbed, and you make a note to avoid that area. So do you say anything to me as I go walking toward that area?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, we got to put that area there. It looks pretty fresh.
All right, so are you a barbarian? Neither one of us are barbarians, no. So it says to proceed
Big
towards
and
the crypt. What?
That's I'm big and handsome.
That's right. There you go.
Okay, let me stealth check, do it now. We have not made a stealth check, do one now. So we already did that.
No, we didn't. We would check for traps instead.
Okay, so stealth
So
now.
we have to make a check. Stealth now.
Yours is rolling 2, mine rolling 1. Is that what it's supposed to be?
Because I have armor on, it's noisy, so I have disadvantage.
Okay.
So we both failed terribly. So what does it say?
Right. Says if you have follow the directions below, depending on whether you are successful or not. So if you are unsuccessful, go to Wake the Dead.
You hear something from under your feet, as if someone is moving under there, turning in their grave, and a scream. Faint. You get distinct. That's weird. You get the distinct feeling your presence has been noticed. On this tile page or anything within it, you have lost the ability to make surprise attacks. So, roll a D100. Do you remember how to do that?
Percentile?
Yes. So you right-click on the 10-sider?
Yeah. No.
Yep, okay. Well, I asked if you remembered. You didn't say anything.
I said yes, I do.
Oh.
I got a whopping 6. It should be the best, right? The lowest is the best.
For me, it's lowest is always better, so that would be amazing. For them, I don't know. So if you score 0 to 50, go here. If you go 51 to 100, go here. So we're going 0 to 50.
All right. Okay. Tread warily through the gravestones, weaving between them and taking care to disturb whatever sleeps beneath your feet. You're about 100 feet away from the crypt. You need to go into the crypt. Entrance 2.
You walk slowly forward, primed for any surprises that might suddenly present themselves. As you near the crypt, you see that it is ornately carved and also set into a solid bank of earth that sits behind it. It appears the crypt extends underground in some way. Doesn't take a dwarf to see that whoever this was constructed for was lavish in their tastes. And we have a very odd picture.
There you go. Okay. That's probably what it would look like. Dome.
Above the door
Okay.
is a coat of arms with a small plaque beneath it, and the small plaque reads, "Together for all eternity, abiding peacefully in the rays of Amunnator, the family of," where the name of this family was presumably carved before. Now the marble has been chipped away until it's unrecognizable. You can possibly see the top of an A near the middle of what used to be the name, but that's all. You see that the gates and the double stone doors beyond are ever so slightly ajar. They appear open. So you can check the entrance for traps, or you can skip that part and just open the gates.
I think we can just go in, right?
Okay.
Steeling yourself, you pull the gate smoothly open. Nothing happens. Congratulate yourself, trusting your instincts and opening the stone door too, pulling it out. There's a sucking sound as the air of the crypt is replaced by the outside air. You stare within the depths and see a passageway that appears to open into the chamber after some way. Do you know the spell of detect good and evil?
No.
Okay. Just move inside by going to the entry across the threshold.
You move inside the door and into the cool silence of the crypt. A stone passage, well paved with solid rock, extends ahead. Alright, so we're now on a different map. I'll let you go ahead and read this while I get it loaded up and ready.
Okay. Creeping warily forward, you peer down the passageway and see a chamber at the end. A brief inspection. A brief inspection here reveals no traps, and you move forward, listening, watching your periphery, all your senses heightened. You enter a large chamber, and on either side are marbled plinths, 4 in all, each topped with a coffin. The air is stale and musty. There's an exit on the far side of the room, and you can see it continues for a short way and then bends to the right. All right. Okay. Sorry. Options. Are we moving with stealth? I say yes, definitely. So do a stealth check.
Very nice.
Okay. And then if success, then we
So I will check the room for traps. It's a perception check, DC 10.
Nice. So there.
You see no traps in here. So
So when you're finished exploring, you may move to the edge of the map and into the adjoining tile page submap 4.
yeah, but before that we have to go to the Entry Mausoleum. Here you go. So it's my turn. This room is silent and smells of decay. The 4 coffins are well kept though, and don't look especially old. The wood is of high quality, and amongst the musty smell there is also the aroma of lacquer in the air, a sure sign of wealth. Whoever this dead family was, they were not short a gold piece or two. The exit on the far side leads into an open passage that continues and then bends to the right. So your choice is open one of the coffins or proceed to the exit.
Do they look fresh, or they look like they're, I don't know. What do you think they're?
Says they look
I
well
think,
kept but they don't look especially old.
well, I'm thinking that this could be a vampire or undead type of thing. We want it. Just bite the bullet and go for it, or do you want to sneak by?
It's
I'm
your
thinking
call.
maybe sneak by.
Whatever you
Maybe
want to do.
sneak by.
Sneak
Sneak
by?
by.
Okay. So you proceed into the passageway and make your way towards the bend. So here's this. All right, so we made it through this one. Here's this one. Your turn to read while I load it all up.
Okay. Okay. You edge forward and fancy. You hear something far, far down the passage ahead. Your heart leaps at the sound and you freeze. All falls silent again. Slowly you move forward again, gripping the handles of your weapon. You're going to be moving with stealth, so we need to do a DC 13 check. So do stealth again.
Very nice.
So when whoever's just making the decision is the one that's rolling. We're not both rolling.
I'm going to look for traps if we have that choice.
What I'm asking is, do we both roll for stealth?
If we're both stealthing, yes. Just like when we both check for traps, we both roll. But you're the one who's stealthing, so you're sneaking ahead a little bit, and I'm checking for traps.
Okay. All right. So in checking for traps, we're checking for traps, right? It says you do go to bend traps.
Nope, I failed. All right.
Okay.
So it says, go here.
Continue.
Keeping a careful watch, you proceed forward to the bend. Go to Dogleg. Okay, well, hold on a second. I'm looking for something.
So the asterisk is on this page here. That's where you're supposed to stop and then do something, and then
Right.
after you've done something, then you come back to this. Okay.
I thought, didn't the, hold on a second. Where's that map?
Which one?
The rogues map.
Oh, So rogues map is this.
Yeah, so it has blades right here on the corner.
Ah,
Because we just left the coffins. We're right coming up on this circle.
right, yeah.
So the corner dog leg is where the thing is. I'm just surprised it's not saying. All right, so go toward whatever lies ahead. Go the So I believe it lets me do it at advantage. Hold on a second. Perception. Where was this? Hold on a second. Okay. I could have sworn there was something about, if they gave you the map, the trap is there type thing, but it doesn't. Okay.
Well, that's why we're checking for traps. Oh, but you're still like there should be an advantage as far as the height, an advantage on the roll when you roll it.
Well, because we know there are blades there. So, but
Right.
regardless, it says as you pass the corner, you feel the ground drop about an inch underfoot, and you hear a click. This can't be good. Make a dexterity saving throw. Um, if you're a barbarian, you can get to this. We're not. So it's a DC 15 dexterity saving throw. Dex. And we both fail terribly. Alright, if unsuccessful, go here. Two large scything blades come swinging out towards you. You try to dodge them, but too late. One of the blades catches you just as you're moving out of the way. Roll 1d6 plus 1 and take that much damage.
So just roll this 1d6.
4 plus 1. 4, so you take 4. And I take 5. You pick yourself up, tend to your wounds, and then carefully proceed along the passage towards a circular room, which you can now see ahead. There you go.
This room is perfectly circular, and unlike the last one, it does not smell musty. There is a faint smell of incense in here, and at the other side of the room from where you entered, you see an altar of some kind. Rubble is scattered across the altar and the floor at its base. We need to investigate the rubble, or we can continue on.
I say we investigate the rubble. But of course, you move over to the altar and check out the rubble. It becomes obvious quite quickly from looking at these fragments that a holy idol of some sort stood here. It has been destroyed. Wondering what this could mean, or perhaps you already know, you continue to the exit on the far side. I don't know what that means, but okay. Here you go.
You hear the same sound again, much clearer than before. Someone is in pain, groaning, and pleading. It sounds like a boy. You read silently, steadying your nerves, and move slowly forward, your mind surprisingly clear. Submit 5.
Alrighty, so it is 6 minutes to midnight. Here, I'll at least share the map with you so you can see a little hint. Dink, dink, dink.
Okay.
You were the last one to read. So do we want to stop here or do you want to keep going? I'm good either way.
Well,
I mean, the boy is around the corner, so I'm guessing the Death Knight is with him. It's probably the big final fight and the final battle and stuff. Do we? I said, do we want to go ahead and finish it? You know, fight and stuff can take several. Probably might be another hour if we keep going. I mean, we can stop in the middle of the fight, but this would be a good place to stop if. So again, I'm good either way. Whatever you want to do. I don't mind waiting or plowing through.
um,
If I had to choose, I would say let's go ahead and wait.
okay. I like that. Let's do it.
All right. So cool. So this is, let me go ahead and put it in my notes. So you can see if you think back of all the different maps, we pretty much went, I mean, we went a little bit out of the way where the spiders were and stuff, but from that central where the thieves were, there were 2 other places we could have gone, and we went straight up into the cemetery and were right to rescue the boy.
Right.
So keeping that in mind, if we ever want to do this again, we could maybe, you know, there are other places we missed and things we didn't see. So,
What
but
do you mean by?
when we go to the, if we ever go to the hole in the ground again, it'll be the same thing. It'll be the same rogues thing, hideout and stuff like that.
So you only played it as one adventure, and then you completely stop it. It's not a continuing thing. In other words, you don't go back where you came from and stuff.
Well, I mean, we might be able to go back and when we rescue the boy, but why would we drag this kid around with us? I'm presuming we would just take him back to town to his grandparents instead of dragging him with us to go exploring, you know?
Right. So then the next point would be to then go on to another adventure after that.
Right. I
Is that
mean,
what you
because there's
mean?
really no point to go back into the woods. I mean, I guess we could. It's just that we would just ignore the
So
parts that have to do with the night.
each of the stories is always going to bring you back to the same point, which then you can make another adventure. Is that what you're saying? Or you're just starting from scratch and saying, okay, let's start this adventure, and it's the same thing, but we go different directions.
Right. So if I understand what you're asking, we could keep. So once we bring the boy back, assuming everything goes well and we don't die and all this stuff, and we rescue the grandson and take him back, it'll tell us what happens after that. And if we're all done and we're lauded as heroes, we can then choose at that point to go back through this if we wanted to go back into the Weathercoat Woods and explore where we didn't, or most people, I think, would just go on to the next adventure.
Okay.
But we could do either one. I hadn't really thought of going back into the Weathercoat Woods once the kid's been rescued, but we could do that, yeah. It's a pretty cool idea. All right, so we are on map 5. There we go. Click.
So 5, yep. Okay.
Does it have the picture? Yes. All right, so that's where I've got it in the notes. You are. All right, so Grangle is down 4, and Hyacinth is down 5. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream. Thank you guys for those of you on YouTube who decided to check this out.
Yeah. Thank you.
Next Wednesday, December 2nd, and going forward, the Dungeons and Brothers will be suspended for a little while. When we have some free time, we will pick this up and finish the story. But if you missed the first one, go back and watch the first one, and then come back and watch this one. We're going to be playing with my son, Micah, and Ron's nephew, obviously. He's a great kid, and kid, I mean he's 30 years old. He's a great man, very funny. The three of us should have a lot of fun. It's gonna be a little bit different than what we've been doing tonight. Don't know what we're gonna call it yet, but we'll get there. So check us out, and whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day.
Just be safe, people.